This is The World Gone Mad. I'm Jeff Allen Wolfe. Welcome to the Friday edition. The part of the week where later in my podcast I share with you the stories that make you pause mid-coffee and say, "No way, Jeff, you're making that up." I swear on a gold Trump Bible, I'm not. It gets crazier and crazier with these offbeat odd stories. This segment later on is called, as you know, News from the Edge of Sanity. I try to put a smile on your face before you head into the weekend. I want to take a minute here before I start the episode to thank two of the listeners who showed up to my Thursday night live stream on TikTok. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate you joining me Thursday night in the live stream. I told you it was going to be crazy. I told you there was going to be a lot of MAGA people in the room as well. So again, a big thanks to both of you for taking the time to join me on the live streams that I just started doing. Once again, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, 9:15 p.m. Mountain Time, and Sunday mornings, 9:30 a.m. All right, let's talk about the real news from the last 48 hours, which sometimes rival the bizarre ones. Here we go. Did anyone hear the big announcement today? Huge announcement. The giant news that's reverberating across America. Congratulations, Pam Bondi of the DOJ. You did it. You released the Epstein files. All of it. Thank you. Every page, every secret. You opened the vault and you delivered the huge moment that everyone's been waiting for. Oh, that's right. Nothing happened. Not one page, not one paragraph, not one coffee-stained memo. We got the big dramatic buildup. We got the vote in the Senate and the Congress. We got the announcement from the president. He signed off on it. We got the performance. And then we got the same amount of documentation you'd find wrapped around a fortune cookie. Actually less. Bupkis. Less than bupkis. Even if you had 20/20 eyesight, you couldn't see any files being released. Ever since Donald Trump proudly declared the files would be released, the only thing that's actually been released is the hot air from everyone pretending that this is real. It's the political version of hyping the largest fireworks show on earth and then lighting a sparkler in the middle of a puddle. They step up to a microphone, swear the truth is coming, swear the files are coming, and then hand you absolutely nothing. It's transparency by imagination. Picture the files. Visualize the documents. Feel their spirit, because you're never going to see them on paper at this rate. Now, while leadership is busy releasing the concept of the Epstein documents instead of the documents themselves, real people are getting hit by something that actually exists. Rental scams are exploding, and they're targeting seniors and students. These scammers post perfect-looking rentals, beautiful homes, great prices, amazing photos that look like they were shot for a magazine. Everything feels legit until you send your deposit, and the host vanishes. People are driving to places that don't exist or belong to someone who has no clue their home was listed. Seniors who saved up for a small trip are losing every dollar they put down. Students trying to book a short stay are seeing their money disappear into thin air. These scammers know exactly who to go after. The hopeful, the trusting, the people who think the world still works on good faith. And every company involved always says the same thing. We'll investigate. Wonderful. That doesn't put the victim in a home. That doesn't return the money. that doesn't undo the humiliation of showing up to a house that's never heard of you. It's the same thing. Promises up front, nothing behind it, words over action. The public pays the price. And now let's talk about something I covered 2 episodes back, the new shrinkflation. In that episode, I talked about what's happening lately in grocery stores. All the cute little marketing phrases they put on the packaging. Single serving, perfect size, portion friendly. All those made up terms that are really just code for we took food out of the package and hope you're too tired to notice. That was the grocery stores I talked about. Boxes getting thinner, bags getting lighter, prices staying exactly the same. Now I'm telling you this episode, it's not just the grocery stores anymore. It's moved into the restaurant chains. Have some of you noticed this? You sit down or drive through, and what they hand you looks like it already survived 2 previous customers. You order a burger, and what shows up is so small, you wonder if the real burger is arriving later. The bun's tiny, the patty's paper thin, the whole thing looks like something a food stylist rejected for being too depressing. The fries come with it, and there are maybe 8 of them scattered around the bottom of the box, looking like they were abandoned during an evacuation. And of course, the restaurant squares, nothing changed. These are the same portions, same serving, same size. Really? I'm supposed to believe I imagined missing fries. I open the container, and my first thought is, who sampled this before it got to me? Did someone in the kitchen need a mid-shift snack? Did someone in the back take a victory lap around my dinner? It's the same trick the grocery stores pulled. They shrink it, they rename it, they slap on a friendly phrase that makes it sound intentional. They hope you're not paying attention while they quietly pull food off the plate. So now it's not just the grocery aisle, it's the restaurants too. The food in these fast food chains looks like a practice round. You pay full price, they give you something that barely qualifies as the warm-up act. And that's the part nobody wants to talk about. Now, we just went through this entire circus of announcements and promises and pretend transparency, and the biggest question that still hangs in the air like smoke, where the hell are the damn Epstein files? Where the hell is the justice for the victims? What game are Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and the Republican leadership playing right now? And if not now, when? The backlash is going to be massive, Donald. Even some Republicans are warning that Bondi better not mess around with the timing of this Epstein file release. And the Republicans, are they growing a backbone? Are they actually taking a stand and warning Pam Bondi? Or is this just another round of the same bullshit cover-up they think the American people are too stupid to see through? We're tired, we're fed up, we're disgusted. Release the damn files. Oh, and one last tidbit that just happened right before I recorded this episode. Marjorie Taylor Loonball Greene is resigning, if you haven't heard. In January, full story on that. She's tired of the back and forth with Donald Trump. She's tired of a hard primary she's going to go through. She's fed up. She wants to spend time with her family. But that was the shocking news. Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning. All right, time for news from the edge of sanity. Let's shift to something lighter. Let me take you to Hamilton, Ontario. Picture a normal city bus terminal. People waiting, people scrolling on their phones, the usual late night energy where everyone is half awake and just wants to get home. A bus pulls up, the doors open, inside is a driver who seems calm, focused, professional. Not a single thing looks out of place. Passengers step on, they tap their cards, they take their seats. The bus pulls away and glides into its route like it has done 1,000 times before. Nothing unusual, nothing strange, nothing to suggest what is actually happening. The bus begins making its stops. People get on, people get off. The driver is smooth, almost too smooth. He pulls up to each stop with confidence, opens the doors, nods to passengers like a seasoned pro, even checks the mirrors before he pulls out like he's been doing this job for years. A woman steps forward to board. She taps her card. The machine beeps. Her pass is expired. Now, most drivers of a bus would wave you on, tell you to sort it out later. Not this guy. He looks her dead in the eye, says the equivalent of, "No, you're not getting on this bus with an expired card." He denies her entry. He upholds the law of public transportation like it is sacred scripture. Passengers begin to notice how seriously this man is taking his job. He's enforcing rules. He's keeping the schedule tight. He's polite, but firm. They are riding with a model employee, a man who is committed to the mission, a man who is dedicated to the craft of public transportation. And then the truth comes out. He is not the driver of the bus. He has never been the driver of the bus. The real driver stepped off the bus for a short break, and this man, this confident, dedicated, rule-enforcing, schedule-managing maestro of transit operations, simply climbed in, sat down, closed the doors, and drove off with a full bus of passengers. He took the bus on a joyride, a calm, orderly, totally convincing joyride. He made stops. He accepted passengers. He denied someone route on the bus. He ran the route better than half the drivers on the payroll. Passengers said he looked like he belonged there. The police said he handled the vehicle almost perfectly. Even the transit company said he kept things surprisingly steady. When authorities finally caught up to him, there was no crash, no chase, no chaos, just a man behind the wheel who for a brief moment lived his dream of being the most dedicated bus driver in the city. A man so committed to the performance, he denied someone with an expired pass. And unlike Donald Trump, this fake bus driver did not once say to any of his passengers, "Shut up, piggy." And that right there is the kind of story that reminds you the world has gone completely sideways. A man steals a bus, does a better job than half the people paid to do it. A man who shouldn't be behind the wheel becomes the most reliable worker in the building. And the only thing anyone could say afterward is that at least he didn't insult the passengers while he took them on the most polite crime spree in Hamilton, Ontario. That's your news from the edge of sanity. Hope you enjoyed that story. Just a friendly reminder that A World Gone Mad is now live on TikTok. I know some of you don't do TikTok, that's fine. So these lives are not these podcast episodes. They're me hosting a live version of A World Gone Mad. Tuesday and Thursday nights at 9:15 p.m. Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. These times are Arizona Mountain Time at this time. I hope to see more of you join me there on the live TikToks. I also started for lack of a better phrase, a holiday fundraiser for my podcast to help me offset some of the costs associated with doing this podcast for 2 years. My goal that I said was $50,000 to raise, but my initial goal is to raise $1,500 before the holidays and at the end of the year. One listener stepped up, and I want to thank her very much. She knows who she is. I thanked her privately. There is zero obligation to anyone, none whatsoever. If you would like to contribute to the podcast, it would be helpful and very much appreciated. You could give as little as $5 or as much as $5,000 if you'd like. I'm joking. You could find the link below each podcast description. This is The World Gone Mad. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf. I'll be back Monday. Until then, Wolfpack listeners, remain skeptical, keep focused, but most of all, stay hopeful.